Today we shall discuss Immortals of Aveum, I think is how you pronounce it, and I'll give you my review of the game and what you should think based off my random opinion of it. Now, this game has gotten some pretty bad reviews, mainly due to people disliking wokeness in video games and attributing wokeness into this game because there's big burly buff females that are the captains of the army and African bald leaders and things of that nature instead of just big strong burly Gears of War men. Now, with all that being somewhat true for what's been handed in this game for commanders and chiefs, I do not feel like this game has hand delivered wokeness and feel like it suffers strongly due to anything in that nature. If this game is to suffer from anything in regards to it being possibly considered to suffer from being woke, I would say the main suffering it has is the standard love story within a game of the guy getting the girl, while having the guy get the girl in any story is a nice added addition. Everyone wants the girl to get her guy and the guy to get his girl. It's not needed, as we've seen in One Piece. You don't need a love story in a game to make a video game good, and that's the main thing we lose, I would say, in anything. If you want to consider this game being woke, there is no hot, amazing best friend that you're hoping by the end of the game you're gonna get to sleep with. Instead, you just get a standard story of a boy in a magic world who is essentially the chosen one, sent to save this world that's being corrupted by magic and so forth. And honestly, even so, this game feels like it didn't deliver on what you should expect. I feel like it is a good game at its core, and I'll kind of break into what I mean by that. Now, when this first got announced, I was pretty excited about the game. I feel like the main thing that is the hook around it is that you have these cool gauntlets around your hands that give you essentially what looks to be three core magic powers. A green, a blue, and a red, which obviously would correlate in anyone's mind to having the power of flame, water, ice, and maybe earth energy, grass, things of that nature. And that, I would say, is kind of the first biggest bummer. Not a huge bummer, but a slight bummer that instead of it kind of attributing to elements, I would say it more attributes to types of weapons. Blue being more of a single fire rifle or sniper type of ability. Red, even though there's hints of flames around it, it's more of a shotgunning type ability where you get kind of like a wide range blasting power, and depending on your make, you could get farther, blasts and or more in tuned blast with farther range. And then your green power is more of a machine gun Gatling powered. You have weaker shots, but you shoot many blasts at a time. And it kind of gives you that variety. So like I said, blue sniping, red shotgunning, and green machine gunning type powers. Like I said, that's nice, that you get that variety. But it would have been, I think, on my side, if they somehow attributed the elements to it a little bit more, it would have been a little bit more of a nice way to use that power element. So that's kind of the first kind of bummer or letdown I feel probably a lot of people felt when it came to the magic system and the way they decided to use it. You do get upgrades and different versions of it, and you get bands that allow you to kind of dash. You have a ability where you can create a shield, as you can see. You have a lash, which you can whip people with and pull yourself to places. And then you have special powers, which could be like blast waves or slowing down time, or a wave of rocks and things of that nature. All together, you do get a good variety of different little powers and spells, and they do feel special. But all saying, the story is pretty good. I did get interested in the stories, even though some of the jokes they had are corny and a bit cheesy. There still was times it made me smirk. It all around wasn't a bad game. I was entwined in the story and kind of what was going to happen, how it was going. It would be a pretty good movie overall, is the best way I can really explain it. Even for standard single player games, normally you should expect nowadays, anywhere from 15 to 30 hours, which is pretty much what you get with this. So, honestly, I feel like this game gets too little credit. It gives you a good variety of story and time to play, ability growth and evolution and ways to evolve your power, and a good story that has you characters growing and has a beginning, rising climax, and then any resolution. So even though there is a lot of backlash in this game, I feel like it's only there to really truly help someone get a good deal on this. This game can be gotten, it was given away for free on PlayStation before, and typically you can get it usually pretty cheap on sale quite often. I'd say this game is easily worth $20. It is, you probably can get it for $10 to $15 if you wait a little bit. It'll probably be on sale again pretty soon, but I'd say $20 is a fair price. If you like single player games that are kind of straight to the point, not a huge open world where you're going to, be spending 100 hours just wandering around, but it's enough open world that you can explore. You can come back to an area later to unlock something that you haven't found. But it also has, I'd say it's probably like 60% linear, 40% open world. So it gives you a little bit of everything you can kind of hope for in a single player game. Like I said, the main thing you kind of lose from the wokeness that they're giving you is a true love interest story in it, but that's not the end of the world. Its story, its gameplay mechanics, and everything else are good enough to make it worth playing if you haven't played it and if you enjoy single player games. So if you stood away from it because you've seen all these horrible, wokeness, it's a trash game, I feel like it is a bit too harsh. I don't know, beyond it being a bit generic, I don't know what the disdain is for the game beyond that. I think it does a good job. Is it the next Witcher 3? It's not, but it's also not the worst game. Its story does a good enough job to be interesting by itself. So, hope this helps. The graphics are also quite good for what you get, and there's a lot of variety. Even if you play on PC, there's a large boost in ability that you can put into it, so that's always nice also. So I definitely think it's worth a try. Hope this helps. If you agree or disagree, let me know. Later, guys.